Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us back here. We're sitting here today with Josh Morton, Chief Product Officer at Game Credits. Now, previously, we talked to Paul and we got to know his background, what he was bringing to the table. But Josh, now we're ready to dive into you. Do you feel up for it?
I do, Michael.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. So you have a lot of really interesting experience here. Can you let people know what got you into this space and what really motivates you as a person?
Yeah, I would say in general, just throughout my career, even before learning about crypto, I've always been driven to like find the next thing, be at the edge of technology and see, how to incorporate that most specifically into games. I think I've always just, liked being kind of early in tech in general, but I've been in the game industry for almost 20 years now. And, I was there at the beginning with the iPhone and bringing games to that. One of the very, very first games, the Super Monkey Ball, went up on stage and got to show off the accelerometer. The Wii, motion control, just VR, really wanting to kind of take that to the next level. I was, excited about that and interested in that, from when the Oculus was kickstarted. So in general, I've always been excited about the latest technology. So when I started learning about the cryptocurrency space or, blockchain, and it was in the summer of 2017, myself had a friend who was in, finance, and he talked about it here and there. And, I think even now, and it still is early, it kind of goes over a lot of people's heads. And I finally was like, okay, sat down, we were at the beach, tell me about it. And so he started telling me about it. I started getting into it, excited and researching it. And just me with my background in games, trying to think, how could this apply to games? And it was when, NFTs came out, like right there, that I made that connection. And so, I really started to just kind of put all my focus into figuring out how to bring this technology into the video game space.
Yeah, it is always interesting. And like you had said, you've worked in games for a while. You worked with 2K and Sega of America, but the crypto space is interesting. And what I think is interesting too is the NFTs have been around longer. It's like they all popped off at one specific time, and then everybody knew what an NFT was. But they've been around for a couple of years before that is when the tech was first getting rolling around and such. That's kind of the story of crypto too. Kind of launches, a few people know about it, and then just kind of blasted off in popularity. And now people are starting to grasp the concepts of blockchain technology, NFTs, and so on. So then tell me like how you wound up being the chief product officer at Game Credits.
So at the beginning, I was, before it was Game Credits, I was a part of a group. I was in a community for Nova Token, a platform that was aiming to bring this technology to a specific game called Nova Blitz. So this was at the end of 2017, was in the ICO for Nova Blitz, Nova Token platform. So basically Nova Blitz was a game that had been developed a couple years prior. Now they were working to develop a platform that would take the game assets and bring them to the blockchain. So as I said, my interest with NFTs was just about, wanting to own my own cards. And so I'm a huge fan of Magic the Gathering. I was big into World of Warcraft. And so this idea of having a digitally owned asset that, just blew my mind. So I was heavy into that. And actually, to be honest, I discovered Nova Token because I was actually researching and wanting to develop my own platform, working with some guys in the Netherlands, just researching like how could we take this idea of NFTs and so I had a game that I had been developing. My background is in production and game design. I was a professor for 7 years at the Academy of Art University in San Francisco, teaching game design and game prototyping. And so I had, and just a little more background, working at 2K, I had worked with Firaxis and worked on Sid Meier's Civilization 5 and XCOM, so turn-based strategy games. So I wanted to make a strategy game, turn-based strategy game like XCOM, but with collectible characters and all that sort of stuff. And so I had to prototype the game, built it all out. Anyways, in my due diligence, I discovered Nova token, invested in that project, was still, looking into my own. And it reached a point in that project or where it made sense to me, rather than me focusing on a game, I wanted to focus on just a platform and bringing it to the masses. And things were shifting with Nova token at the time. I reached out as a community member to Paul, let him know what my background was, let him know that I was interested in potentially helping where I could as they were developing this stuff out. And it just kind of grew from there. And then, this was right around the time we had Matt came on board. Matt Quirk is on the team now. He was back then. Jason and Steve came in as owners with Paul to develop this kind of new vision for the platform. And then Jason helped us to basically bring in the group of game credits, the IP of game credits. So it just, this convergence of all the work that we had done on the technology of Nova token with the Nova token platform, taking that tech and all the money that we spent there with the IP of game credits in that community, we merged that together, forked into a new ERC20 game credits token, and continue to just push forward with our vision of, bringing NFTs to the space. And then that evolved into it becoming metaverse because, like almost 2 years ago, we were already thinking about this.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend who works at Roblox, and I was like, dude, you gotta, and he saw when I was investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I said, you should make Roblox, on the blockchain. He was like, yeah, whatever. And now we're kind of doing something like that. So, yeah.
Interesting, man. What's really cool is after talking to Paul and talking to you now, you really see that like you guys like to sit on the frontier of gaming and technology, so to speak, which is where like the niche spot where you are right now. So like obviously the goal isn't for this to be the frontier always. The goal is to get more accessibility and such, which is something you guys are working on now. So like how do you see that happening? How long do you think it's going to take? And what are the steps necessary to get more people to see this, more people involved, and I think the core of it, more people to wrap their heads around digital ownership?
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to bring people in slowly. So definitely there needs to be a free to play element to it. There's going to be play to earn, but there needs to be an environment where we can bring in lots of new people and they can sign up in a traditional way where they can, give us their email address and everything that they're used to doing into this system, though it will be decentralized, but there's going to be this kind of come in and play to a limited capacity to explore the space. And you start to receive items and things like that, but then we'll have to walk them through with a user experience. By then, we hope that the setting up your wallet and doing all that, it's just going to be easier and easier in general in the space. And then when they're ready, the system would walk them through like, are you ready to own your own stuff and set up your wallet and okay, take control and just kind of walk through the system. And there's some games doing that now. Splinterlands is one that comes to mind. I think they have a pretty good onboarding process of bringing people in and like they don't have full control of their cards until you choose to do it. And so I think as a community, we all need to work together. We all have a vision. We very much believe in interoperability. So we want to bring all these spaces together. So we want to make it so that everybody is joining this space and discovering it, as this vast landscape, and kind of we'll have all these people coming in their different places and just try to onboard them smoothly.
Yeah, and things have came a long way in terms of the accessibility in the space. I mean, even so much as 5 years ago, we are still sitting largely in that realm where a lot of control was in your hands and one wrong click, and nope, there goes your funds, or there goes your tokens, or so on and so forth. So I think you're right in the improving that accessibility and that onboarding for your average person is very important. At the end of the day, a lot of people don't need to know a lot of the code that happens behind the scenes that a lot of people are currently exposed to still.
No, I mean, for sure they don't. You have, a user experience layer. I mean, you need to make them aware that if you're taking control of your assets, it's your responsibility to, secure those assets. Don't share your passwords. Don't share, seed phrases. All those things are still going to need to be there. Mm-hmm. I mean, there will be people who are still custodians. So, it's going to just basically be on, at what level are people comfortable, getting involved. If you have some trepidation and don't want to take full control, you don't have to fully get, into the experience. You could have somebody as a custodian. You are putting their trust in their hands, but hopefully it's a big enough company that it's not an issue. But it's going to be the user is going to make that decision themselves.
True. Well, Josh, we've dove into a lot of the abstract sides of things. Let's dive back into some of the more recent developments. Tell me about Genesis Worlds from your point of view. What excites you the most about it?
Yeah, I mean, what I really love is our push to make this something beyond even what we can dream it to be right now. Laying the groundwork for something that's really community driven. Sure, we're gonna build some tools. We're gonna have some initial gameplay and style, visual styling and stuff like that. But the real goal is to make something that we can hand off to the people that are coming in early right now and grabbing these mining claims. That it's a situation where we really expect this to be what can we build together, not what can we build for you. And we want to start to get more and more people involved who aren't on our team. So it's almost like you just think of it as we're the first community of this growing community. And so it's exciting to me knowing that we're going to have the tech in place for other people to develop game systems, for other people to develop new features based on the governance, of these mining, what the mining claves will serve, or that the Genesis token will serve for the entire ecosystem. And I think a lot of us it's kind of that whole vision of Ready Player One, and just so many kind of directions that we could take this. I feel like we're at the beginning of that, and it's only going to happen by people coming in and putting in the work and driving towards kind of each next step. And as with anything in game development, it takes a long time for games to get developed, and it's just everything sucks until it doesn't, and you just push it one thing at a time, and it starts to take shape and take form, and it's just exciting.
Yeah, when you're talking about getting an idea that's gonna, you want to outlast the entire team, so to speak, laying that foundation correctly is a very important step of that. You guys have been doing that now. So I guess what should people be looking at right now? Like what should they be looking forward to? What are the catalysts coming up?
In the space in general?
I would say specifically with game credits, like if there's any big milestones that people should be looking that are coming up soon, what should they be?
I mean, the huge thing is, I'm talking to you on the 17th of January. I'll say that right now, 2022. The very first mining claims go on sale January 18th, 8 a.m. Pacific, I think. No, it could be Eastern. Sorry, don't quote me. If you go to genesis.game and you go to the mining claim page, there's a countdown timer. If you go before launch, it will be set to your time zone. So go take a look at that, as soon as you see this, if it's not beforehand. The good thing is the way this works is it's not, you mint within this hour and then it sells out and you don't have a chance to get back in. If I can quickly get into the tech and the way this is going to work, people are going to use game credits and lock them into, with this bonding curve, lock them into these claims that they purchase. And after you hit like 400, 450, the claim prices will start to rise. So initially it's 500 game. What this will do is that as people buy in, the market will determine what they're willing to value these things at right now. And some people who bought in at 500, 600, 700, if that hits, 2,000, 3,000 game, some of those people may want to sell it. They just, that they may be willing to. And then there's going to be other people who know that this is early and they want to accumulate. So as those people are selling and it goes back down and it hits 1,800 or 2,000, if it was up, they can buy back in. And it's just not going to close. So once that goes live, it will remain that way and remain open for the lifetime. That's how people can get in and out with mining claims. Yeah. And so anyways, milestones tomorrow from right now. We'll have 3 planets, but we're going to continue to launch planets after that. So, if you miss out or you feel like you're getting in and you didn't get it at the price you want, you can keep an eye out on those prices, but you can always be getting in on the planets that we're bringing next.
Yeah,
that'll be coming soon after. Yeah,
something that I discussed with Paul. It isn't about creating a specific exclusivity here. It's about accessibility. You're allowing people in. You're going to keep making more of these. So if you guys miss out on the first ones, don't worry, there'll be more coming. And where can people go to find out more? Where should people be gathering if they have lots of questions and so on?
I think the best place would be our Discord channel. That's where we're most active. We do have a Telegram. That's not my personal favorite, but You can't not have it. We have a pretty active Twitter channel now, but definitely Discord. We actually just revamped our Discord channel to, I don't know if they've made it live yet, but it will be by the time we go tomorrow, by the time our claims go on sale. But yeah, it'll be a great place for creators, a great place for, people who are just here to invest. And people can talk about their favorite planets, what they want to do next. Governance is a big thing. We have a lot of people in here who are just excited to be included in the discussion about what comes next, and splitting it up into planets. Those different communities there'll be different kind of groups of communities on those planets, and they'll get to dictate some very unique gameplay styles, direction on how we want to distribute land. It will be different on each planet. So we will have an overall Genesis world governance with the Genesis token, and then we'll have individual world governance with those mining claims.
Yeah, I talked with Paul, and like how this is something that is a long time coming. It's going to take a while to figure out, because everybody gets a say. And I think it's interesting because that's not something that's super common in the current video game world, or in the digital world, so to speak, altogether. So you guys are building this community. You're going to help hand it off. And yeah, anyone's welcome to get involved. So I guess last but not least, is there anything else you want to add? Anything you think people should know before the launch?
The biggest thing on my mind right now is getting ready for that launch tomorrow. But this is something that will be ongoing, so we'll kind of continue to have exciting, new things going on as we continue to release these. It's going to be an initial, chunk of 24 worlds that will span over. We'll see what the cadence of that is, but the way this works out is that we could have, maximum 24 in 1 month, and then 1 new planet per month after that. But that 24 could technically be spread over a few months, so that it's like a few per month. And then once we've hit that kind of cap of 24 per month, plus whatever one up until that point, we'll start to slow down. But a big thing too is that you don't need to just be thinking about, which planets that we make that you like. If you come in and you have an idea, you have a community that you're bringing in, or you have a theme that you're not seeing in our like up next, kind of thing. Jump in and give us a suggestion, because we're listening to the community. We can put things to vote, and we can have new planet themes that we haven't even thought of yet. So we have a bunch, kind of sitting on the sidelines in case we need to, but we really want the community to come in and get involved now. They don't have to wait. And we want to keep that dialogue going and get them involved in where we take this.
Yeah, very well said. If anyone wants to get involved, please don't be afraid to hop into the Discord group, whether you want to get involved or just have any questions, or just want to follow the story as we continue along here. So Josh, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for watching. And again, stay tuned for more updates coming from Game Credits soon. Josh, have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Michael. You too.